Go Mustangs! The Coach Jackson Show, brought to you by Kim Assad, your real estate broker.
Hello, Mustang Nation. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here. Welcome to Week 8 of the Coach Jackson Show. Coming off of a program win. It's been the game of the week or lifetime for some of these kids. And it was also the KTXA Channel 8 or Channel 21 game of the week. Coach, it was a big game. Tell us about your thoughts going into and coming out of that ball game.
One of those that we knew it was going to be a four-quarter game. I really think, like we said last week, the Richland game prepared us for it, and it was just a really intense game. Got down big early, or 13-0 early, and was hoping that we would fight through it, and we did. Could not be more proud of our kids' effort. It was a physical game, but we came out healthy, and probably my biggest takeaway from the game that I may never forget is just the pure elation and joy on our kids' face, the parents, everybody on the field after the game. So really, when you're trying to come in and take over a program, you need that signature win. And last year, we felt like we turned the corner last year, but this is just another step in our program, and could not be happier for the seniors to get this kind of the monkey off of our back and in the streak.
So would it be safe to say you exercised some Texas high school football demons out there Friday night?
I think that'd be real safe to say, and I just think that there was that perception out there that maybe this is just one of those that we were never going to get type of thing, and I think we did go from in 2014 maybe hoping we could win to last year thinking we could win to this year expecting to win. And I think it's just all a mindset, and we kind of closed the gap on them talent-wise and all, but our mindset was big just going in. Our guys really believed they could win.
Well, you told them Friday morning in the Breakfast of Champions that you're going to take a punch, that you're going to have to take at least one. And, I mean, they opened with a haymaker right off the bat, and your guys answered the bell. It got a little bit of energy when they blocked the extra point. But then you go on a 21-point unanswered streak. Talk about what it took to get the guys ready to do that.
Yeah, I really think the blocked extra point gave us a little bit of life. Something good needed to happen, but that next drive, us answering was terrific. We had long drives all night. We had two 11-play drives, a 12-play drive, and a 14-play drive. So one of our strategies, we went to some two tight end sets this week that we haven't shown all year, and one of them was because we wanted to keep that explosive offense off the field. I mean, their quarterback is great. They've got terrific receivers, and so the long drives, I think, were a big part of the story, too, of us just maintaining the ball control aspect.
You did that all night, and as the game flowed, they kind of dominated the first quarter. You definitely dominated the second and third quarter. But then a comeback attempt in the fourth quarter, they went from 23 down to 11 down with 9 minutes to go, and it was a long 9 minutes. And then 8 points with just 3 minutes to go. Talk about what was going through your head at that point in the ball game.
I knew it was really a race against the clock there. With about 4 minutes left, they completed a long pass, and I don't ever say anything to our defensive coaches, but I said, hey, let's just make them bleed slow. You know, it's really not that they didn't already know that, of course, but it's a little stressful. And so when we did get the ball back, it was just what a great deal. Zach Wolf, just time after time. Our offensive line played awesome. So for us to be able to run the ball and take some, because even that was a long 9 minutes, but they just didn't get a lot of opportunities. And on 3rd and 4, Kel Dow makes a big catch to convert. Zach Wolf breaks that long one to kind of ice it. So our guys really came through. We had too many penalties and looked undisciplined at time with the penalties, but in the fourth quarter, it was a disciplined football team as far as taking that clock and running it down.
Well, Zach Wolf showed up time and time again, play after play, and then he recovered that onside kick on a short field with just about 3 minutes to go. Talk about how he just stepped up play after play all night long.
You know, 2 weeks in a row against Richland, he played great, but man, what a senior! He's just put us on his back some, and the onside kick, really wasn't kicked towards him, He went and got it. So he's really just stepped up big time. Could not be happier for him. But I think he carried it 27 times. And when you go back and look at the film, which what a neat thing for us to all be able to go back and watch it on television with the announcers and all. So the next morning, real early, I'm watching just a little bit of it. And our first scoring drive, it's 3rd and 2, I think, and he catches a 27-yard pass where he gets pass interference, but he catches it anyway. And just not many running backs that you can run a go route with and feel like it's going to be good. So he's got great hands, great vision, and just having a great senior season. I'm really happy for him.
Well, all 3 phases of the game did what they had to do. The defense was solid, and they were hitting hard and smothering again like usual. The offense was solid. Special teams was also huge. You had 2 blocked extra points. You had the 2 2-point conversions they stopped. You had the extra point recovered, no big returns. Just talk about how all 3 phases of the game had to come together.
Yeah, we can start with the kicking game. I thought French did a great job. We pooched it to him some, and pooch is really a really hard kick. You want it high enough and not where you can cover it, and so he did a great job on the pooch kick. So we covered well. The fake punt in the first half was great. Executed it real well. The times Allen did punt, I think he punted twice. One was left and went a long way. Then one he killed about the 10. So yeah, you just can't win games like this without winning all 3 phases. So real proud of the kicking game. We went in defensively, and we're going to try to make them run the ball to beat us. We felt like we had an advantage up front, and they did a good job. 31 did a great job at running back. I texted him the next day and congratulated him on a great night, and I really respect him. But we want to make sure if we could just cut the big plays, and they got us some on some big plays. But all in all, our defense was a bend but don't break, and we just as long as you don't give up too many, we're fine, and that's how we feel like we did it.
Well, it worked out well. So you've got the 6-year vindication. The seniors get to sign the tunnel, and then you get to bring home the red rail. Talk about the red rail.
Well, it was a myth to me. I'd never seen it. They don't bring it to the game, but it is extremely heavy. Mr. Kuntz, who played here and all, he went and got it for us this morning, and some guys took some pictures with it. I had it out there between first and second period, but it's a piece of railroad track about this big with all the scores on it, and it's still up at the high school. I should have brought it down here, but it's probably 50 pounds easy. It's too heavy. I kind of had visions of maybe carrying it around the school and let some kids look at it, and it's too big for that or too heavy for that. But eventually it'll be down here, and this will probably be the place that it'll stay.
Well, let's hope it's here for our show next week for Coach's Show number 9. But now you got to look forward. You got 2 more regular season games. You got Eastern Hills coming up on Thursday night. They're a 2-5 team, but they're not getting blown out like some of the other Fort Worth schools, even though the record's a little low. Talk about that, and is this possibly a mousetrap game?
Well, we certainly have to focus in and pay attention. Our whole leadership development this week is focus, and I think it's real appropriate. I'm glad we're playing on Thursday because we have to turn the page that much sooner. So we've closed the book on Colleyville Heritage, and I know that's hard to do because it was just such a big win, but now we've got to go Eastern Hills. Dunbar beat them 40-25, and you're right, they're not getting blown out. So we think that they're probably the upper echelon of the Fort Worth schools, if that makes sense, and I just want to go over there and make sure we're look disciplined, cut down on our penalties, execute, and all those kind of things. But yeah, it's one of those that we're going to have to pay attention, and because anybody can beat you on any given night if you're not ready and don't respect them.
Absolutely. Well, that'll be Thursday night, October 27th, 7 p.m. over at Hanley Field in Fort Worth. Don't forget Thursday morning breakfast of champions at 7:30. Bring enough food from the dads to feed all the players and the coaching staff, and that'll wrap up Week 8 of the Coach Jackson Show. Thanks to Mark Assad and all those who helped make this one happen. We will see you next week. Mustang Nation here in the Grapevine Mustang locker room with Week 8 player of the game, Zach Wolf. Zach, it was a big game. It was the game you as seniors had been looking for a long time. You can admit it if you want, but we all know it's true. Talk about what it meant to get that victory over the Heritage kids in your senior year.
Well, it had been 6 years since we've won that game, and I think they only won it by 3, but we came out and executed a lot better than they did back in, I think it was 2009, and it just felt good coming out. There were some things said before the game that came from the student section that really didn't cross my mind, but just to make us come out and play even harder. And
Coach Jackson talked Friday morning in the Breakfast of Champions and told you all that you were going to take a punch, but you actually got a haymaker early in the game. Talk about being down 13-0 and what it took to stay in the game at that point.
Well, it was definitely us just staying in the game and not letting that just phase us at all. Just to know that we're going to come up stronger and keep fighting, that it wasn't even over because it was just the first quarter. And we definitely fought hard every play throughout the whole game, and then the outcome came as it was.
Well, you were mentioned by name. You had a phenomenal stat night. You had over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. At the end of the game, when Coach Jackson asked who earned a work shirt tonight, it was unanimous. Every voice unanimously yelled, "Wolf." Did that even register at the time, or were you just so happy with the victory you didn't even notice it?
No, because we all fought hard, and everybody, I think we wear blue color on the back of our helmets, and I think we all live up to that saying. And so it's not just one man that really did a lot of great things. It's everybody working together to make those great things happen. And so I was pretty much in the moment, and I didn't really think anything of it.
Well, good. Well, let's take a look at the few plays that you had. We're going to start. We talk about breaking the ice for the Mustangs here on this touchdown.
So we had attempted to run the play before, and we didn't execute. I only got, I think I didn't even get a yard on it, and we were like right on the goal line, and then we ran it again, and I just spun and went outside and thought I was about to get plowed, but it was just empty field and fell in.
Later in the ball game, we're down at the same spot. Similar situation here. Talk about the score here to take a big lead.
It was definitely a needed touchdown, and I just knew just to lower my shoulders and run through my gap, trusting my guards, and definitely worked out the way we all wanted it to.
Then late in the game, you're trying to burn some clock, put this thing away, and nobody expected this little break right here. Talk about what happened on this play and what's going through your mind.
I think there was it 2 minutes left in the game, something around there, and I knew it was still 42 to 30, 34 something.
34,
like And I just knew, just to get everything set, just to feel good, that we needed one more touchdown just to put us in the safe zone, and that was definitely a needed touchdown.
At the time, it was big. It was huge. But you had another play in the middle of all that on the onside kick recovery. Talk about coming up with that ball and just how it looked like for a minute there, that ball might have gone the wrong way.
In practice, I'm in the middle of the field just making sure they don't kick it, and I've never really caught a ball in practice before, but I caught my first one in the game the other night. Nick Jordan was right in front of me, and I saw that the ball was still rolling on the ground with that potential to hit the point of the ball where it's going to flip up, and I knew that was going to happen, so I immediately ran behind Nick, and then it just popped right over him, and I jumped in there to catch it.
Well, that was a big game saver, big game. Congratulations on the big win. We'll see you Thursday night over in Fort Worth for the Eastern Hills game.
Sure, thank you.
Go Mustangs! The Coach Jackson Show, brought to you by Kim Assad, your real estate broker.